You're listening to the Houses and Spouses podcast with Ryan Hamilton. Ryan Hamilton is a real estate agent with Good Oak Real Estate and the heart behind the I Do Guru, helping people build strong foundations, both in their homes and in their marriages. Let's get into it.
Hey everyone, welcome to a special episode of the Houses and Spouses podcast with Ryan Hamilton. I, of course, am Ryan Hamilton, local real estate agent with Good Oak Real Estate here in the Phoenix and Tucson areas, and wedding officiant at the I Do Guru. And this one's going to be a little bit different, a little bit tough. Normally, I'd start with a dad joke. Today, we're going to skip that for some obvious reasons here. A few days ago, our family had to say goodbye to our oldest dog. Her name was Cookie, and if you've ever lost a dog, you know that it isn't just a pet conversation, right? It's so much deeper than that. So I wanted to record this while everything is still fresh, while it still kind of hurts really, really bad, because part of building a full life, the kind that I want to talk about on this podcast, is acknowledging those chapters that shape us and even the ones that ended way too soon, as this situation did. So this episode is for Cookie. And let me tell you a little bit about this dog. We adopted Cookie during COVID, which somehow feels like yesterday, but also feels like a whole lifetime ago. Her story, though, started long before she met us. She was found in an alley nursing her puppies. She was covered in ticks. She was diagnosed with Lyme disease later. And she was still doing the only thing that she knew how to do, and that was to protect her babies. And honestly, that is Cookie, if you've ever met her. She's tough on the outside. She's protective. She's was a little grouchy sometimes, but underneath it all, she was all heart, this dog was. Now, one of my favorite parts of her story doesn't even involve us directly. We actually know a couple through some friends of ours who adopted one of her puppies, which is amazing, considering how big this Phoenix area is. So we were able to see photos of this puppy, and we are very happy to know that that this puppy's lived an incredible life, like Cookie had. And so there's something really cool about that. Her story, Cookie's story, didn't just change our family, which it did, but it rippled and it changed other families. So because she was protecting her puppies back in that alley years ago, these puppies are doing well. These dogs are doing well. So during COVID, we owned a cabin for about 2 years. We bought some kayaks, and somehow Cookie became known as Captain Cookie. We had this little life jacket for her, and she'd sit in the kayak with Lindsay, and it was just like she had been there forever and that she belonged out on that lake. And speaking of Lindsay, oh my goodness, this dog obsessed with my wife, wanted to be everywhere she was. If she was around, she could not keep her eyes off of Lindsay. It was just like her security blanket. Most nights, Cookie would sleep underneath the covers, pressed up right against Lindsay's back. And sometimes it honestly felt like she was trying to crawl inside of Lindsay and just stay there forever. At family functions, she'd find that one person, that sucker that was willing to hold her or let her sit in her lap, and she'd park on that lap for hours if she could. This dog really didn't know how to play, right? Just wasn't her thing, but she knew how to protect and she knew how to love. She was a de facto mom for the whole dog crew. So if the other dogs were playing too rough, she'd step in, kind of like she was security, breaking up what she thought were fights, but usually they were just wrestling, just like dogs normally do. So Cookie was the first dog that we've had where our boys can remember her. So back in college, Lindsay and I had Tito and Zoe, and when they passed away, and Roxy, and when they passed away, we took a break because losing those dogs for us was heavy, and we didn't know when we'd be ready to do that again. But I can tell you that adopting Cookie from this Arizona Small Dog Rescue during COVID was the best thing that happened to come out of COVID for our family, 100%. And I remember showing up to pick her up with a mask on. The world felt crazy like it did during COVID. And there she was. She was tiny. She was scared. She was unsure of everything. But somehow she trusted us. And we got years of loyalty from Cookie in return for that. Now, Cookie joins a long line of family dogs, not just from our immediate family, but from our extended family as well. Dogs that were part of holidays, gatherings, cornhole tournaments in our backyard, Easter egg hunts next door at Tori and Zach's, just ordinary Sundays. And so these are dogs that have made an impact and are no longer with us. So we've got Evie, Lucy, Iris, Tito, Zoe, Roxy, Charlie, Hudson, and I'm probably missing some, but different homes, different seasons, same kind of love from these animals. Every one of them left their quote-unquote paw prints on our family story. And now Cookie stands among them, part of that bigger family legacy of those good dogs who loved us so well. And I also want to say this, though. We still have Bennie and Luna, okay? They came along after Cookie. These dogs are fun. They're very much part of our daily life. They're playful and loud and full of energy in ways that Cookie never quite figured out how to be. So I can also tell you this. They are grieving as well in their own way. It's kind of sad to watch. But this isn't the end of dogs in our home, right? It's just the closing of one really special chapter. And what a chapter it was in our dishwasher is interrupting us, but I'm going to let that play because I don't know if I could record this twice. So what's strange about losing a dog is how quiet the house can suddenly feel, even when we still have two other dogs. One of them's right here, Luna. Because dogs are in your mornings. They're under your feet in the kitchen. They're part of the background and the rhythm of your life. And then one day that sound and that noise is just gone. And you're like, man, I didn't know how much I love that noise. So we talk a lot on this podcast about houses. We talk about buying them and selling them and building equity. But building a home is something different, right? Homes are layered with memories. They've got routines. Our home has dog fur on the couch that I keep telling Lindsay I'm going to get cleaned up here. Dogs are a part of the architecture of a home. Cookie was there for us during COVID. It's a season none of us will ever forget. She was there as our kids grew older, as our life is starting to speed up again, as our routines shift around again. But I can tell you this. A dog does not care about your business goals. Dog doesn't care about interest rates. All a dog wants to do is just be next to you. That's it. And that presence matters more than we realize. So these dogs are silent witnesses to everything in our life. Family arguments, family celebrations, stress, laughter, late night talks, ordinary Tuesdays. Dogs anchor the everyday experience that we go through. And so I'll tell you this. If you've lost a dog and you felt completely wrecked by it like we do, you're not dramatic. This hurts because it matters. Hey. I can tell you that grief is the receipt that you get when you lose someone that you love, or something, or an animal that you love. These dogs aren't just part of your life highlights. They're woven into the daily rhythm, right? And when that rhythm stops, you feel it. You can feel it. Like it's in you. Dogs teach kids responsibility. They teach kids empathy. They teach kids loyalty. They can teach adults things too. They teach adults to slow down or maybe sometimes go take a walk, a long walk. They tell you to sit still. They can teach you sometimes. They teach you to be here. Dogs will love you on your worst days. They don't care about your performance. They don't care about how much money you make. All that they care about is your presence. They just want you to be there. So as painful as this few days have been, because this just happened on, Thursday morning, Friday morning, 3 a.m, whatever it was. And I'm recording this on Monday. I keep coming back to gratitude. How lucky are we to have had something in our lives that left such a big hole when it was gone? How lucky are our kids to grow up knowing what unconditional loyalty looks like? Cookie gave that to us. How lucky are we to build homes that include these animals and these paws in the foundation? So they're never just a dog. This is part of the story. So tonight, hug your dog, hug your animal, hug your cat. take that extra walk, okay? Let them sit a little too close to you. Let them take your spot on the couch. Because one day, I can tell you this, you're going to miss the sound of those nails on your floor. You're going to miss it. So, Cookie, thank you for being our dog. And to every dog out there who's made us better humans, thank you. Thanks for listening to a special episode of the Houses and Spouses podcast. We'll be back on Friday with a normal, not emotional, tear-jerking episode. We've got Camille Johnson. We've already recorded this one. Camille Johnson with Elevate Homescriptions. We'll be talking about home warranties and how important they are for your house and just having a lot of fun. So in the meantime, hug your animals, hug your dogs. We miss you, Cookie. We love you.
This has been the Houses and Spouses podcast with Ryan Hamilton. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe and share this episode with someone who needs it. For real estate help or a wedding ceremony crafted with care, connect with Ryan online. See you next week.